Tunaiku, balik lagi bersama saya Audrey, masih di Bincang Tunaiku Amar Bank. Kali ini suasananya agak beda ya, biasanya kan kita syuting di kantor. Tapi kali ini, boleh dilihat, agak fancy ya. Kenapa? Karena tepat hari ini, diambil video ini maksudnya, tanggal 26 Agustus, Amar Bank baru aja mengadakan Public Expose 2020 yang memaparkan kinerja Amar Bank sebagai perusahaan perseroan dan juga meluncurkan satu inovasi baru, produk terbaru dari PT Bank Amar Indonesia Tbk, yaitu Senyumku, Indonesia's Mobile Only Intelligent Bank. Jadi acaranya tuh tadi diadain, ada jajaran manajemen gitu dari PT Bank Amar Indonesia Tbk. Dan yang pastinya ada presiden director kita, yaitu Vishal Tulsian. Mumpung beliau lagi bisa diganggu, jadi kita mau tanya-tanya dulu nih sama dia, ngobrolin soal apa ya enaknya ya? Ya keuangan lah, masa ngomongin soal zodiak. Hello. Gitu. Jadi langsung aja kita mau samperin beliau. Mumpung beliau belum pergi gitu untuk kesibukan yang lainnya. Orang sibuk gitu. Kita langsung samperin aja. Yuk. Kalau tempat mahal tuh bunganya beneran gini ya, bagus nih. Tunggu. Ya ampun, tadi belum selesai. Jangan lupa sekarang di like dulu nih videonya. Terus di subscribe dulu channelnya. Terus nyalain dulu lonceng notifikasinya. Di sini nih, katanya sih di sini nih. Gitu. Terus kalau ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan menyangkut soal keuangan, coba aja komen di bawah. Siapa tahu dijawab sama siapa? Nggak tahu. Oke. Hello sir. Hello. We meet again. Sorry, we cannot share things.
Yes, we do this.
Okay, so welcome to the YouTube channel of Tunaiku, and we are in the segment Bincang Tunaiku Amar Bank. Now we would like to talk a little bit about financial, but it's related to the recent issues. Maybe about, I would like to connect two words, financial and freedom. But before we come into that topics, I would ask your opinion first. Like they say, money cannot buy happiness. But if we don't have money, somehow everything becomes in trouble. What do you think about that, sir?
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me on your channel. So yes, I have heard this many times that money cannot buy happiness. My view in that is money can buy happiness if you go to the right shops.
True.
Yeah. It all depends which shop you go to. So what I mean is that if somebody is buying something, so which is an example of a wrong shop. Somebody buys something and wants to put up on their social media to show off. That won't buy happiness. That's a very temporary. But somebody buys, say somebody bought a phone, yeah, for showing off that, okay, I got iPhone 12 and now I'm showing off on the social media. Okay, that will be a very temporary. But instead, say one person buys the phone or anything for some of his loved ones, somebody in his family, say mother, who really needed a new phone. So that is not going on your social media, that you are doing to buy for your loved one, that will buy happiness. Yeah. So that's where you see the money has gotten a good use and it will buy happiness. You go out in a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, again for social media, it won't. But instead, if someone is just going for an experience with their loved ones, at that time you need money to be able to enjoy some time, and that's where it buys happiness. So it all depends how you use the money for external purpose or for internal purpose. If you are using for external purpose, yes, it doesn't buy happiness. But if you're using for internal purpose as also like investing in your education for future, that will buy happiness.
Okay, but if like in an emergency or in like a very cornered situation, when we say we don't have money or we don't have any backups, do you think there is a solution? Maybe like when I talk about the two words before, is like financial freedom with it. And then in your opinion, what is financial freedom? And also, do you think it's real or is it myth?
Okay. So, very, very good question. And this financial freedom word I've heard like many times. In my opinion, financial freedom is a lie sold by people. Yeah, it's a very big lie. Reason being is this.
Okay.
What is sold as a concept is that you earn that much of money that the person doesn't have to work anymore, right?
True. True.
That's the financial freedom, that you earn so much of money, now you don't have to work.
Okay.
The problem with this logic is this. To earn that much of money, the person has to be very good in their job or business, whatever they are doing. If they are very good in that, they can be that good to earn that much of money only if they are passionate. They become passionate about their work. And if they become that passionate about their work, they are not working only for money, they are working for the work in itself. They won't leave the work. So if you take the example of like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, by all logical standards, they have the financial freedom. Why are they still working? Right? So that is why it is, if you are looking for financial freedom, then you don't get it. You get it by being passionate, by becoming passionate about the work which you are doing.
Oh, that leads me to another question about the financial freedom. So when people in the younger age like me already trapped that in some certain age we have to achieve that kind of status about the financial freedom, but when we haven't and we see other friends already achieve it, we got disappointed. What do you think we can do, or what do you suggest?
So there are two parts to the question.
Yep.
Number one is, if I understand correctly, when people compare themselves with their friends. Right? So what philosophy which I believe is that whenever you compare yourself with anybody outside, there will be always someone who is doing better than you. And so it's a game which you can never win. You will always have someone doing better, and you can only have negative feelings by that. So it doesn't help in any way. So instead of comparing with someone else, I believe one should only compare themselves with their past self. Are they better than their past? By that, they see that they are growing, both mentally or by health-wise, monetary, whichever area they want to grow at. And with their growth, they receive a positive feedback. And that's the better way to look at the comparison side.
Okay.
And instead of thinking that the other person has got financial freedom, I think it got mixed with, is it a financial security or is it a really financial freedom? So one usually, I think, is going towards a financial security, that you have certain amount which will make you not worry. Because you want to get rid, individuals want to get rid of that anxiety feeling, that worry feeling. Freedom from anxiety is more important than freedom of finance.
Okay, freedom from anxiety. Okay, so let's switch the question, because previously I would like to ask about the tips to get financial freedom. So when Mr. Vishal said it's a myth or it's a lie, I would like to reverse. I want to change my question. So talking about the financial security that you mentioned before, do you have any tips or do you have any insight for the younger age like mine to get the financial security, when, especially for those who think their salary is still smaller than the others, for like 3 million a month, it's possible for them to get that financial freedom or security that you mentioned before. Do you have any tips or insight? 3 tips, 5 tips?
Okay. So now there are always many things one can do. What if for your viewers, I'll just make some simple tips, right? So number one thing to do is that it's all about discipline. Means what you want to have a financial discipline. It's not about how much you are earning, more than you want to form a financial discipline. It's just like any other muscle, any other habit, you need to form a financial discipline. So for that, step number one, divide it into 3 categories. We usually have in financials in 3 categories. Number 1 is savings. Number 2 is expenditure. And number 3 is investment. Okay. Yeah? These are the 3 categories. Now, some tips for, let's say, savings. First, when you get an income, start by savings. Yeah. Usually people make an error that at the end of the month, if I'm left with something, I will save.
True.
Instead of that, reverse it. You got the income, start by saving, make a goal of reaching up to, let's say, 10% or 20% of your income as a savings. For some people, I understand it is not possible because there are many expenditures in front of them. But more important, as I said, is the discipline. So start small, maybe 1%, maybe 2%. So as you said, somebody 3 million salary, even just a 30,000 as a savings, but that's saving, and that's the habit which the person gets into. That's number one. Number two is that have if you're having a bank account, have one bank account which you are doing only for saving, so you're not tempted to draw or use that money. Use one bank account for other purposes, use one only for savings. And that's where you can use Tunaiku, where you can use only for savings. Second is for expenditure. For expenditure, step number one, you have essential items and non-essential items to buy. So I'm talking about non-essential items now. Whichever are the non-essential items, first plan to buy for, let's say, next 3 months. What are your plans to buy for next 3 months? All non-essential items which you plan. And don't buy anything if it was not in your plan. You will face a lot of promotions. You will face a lot of temptations. You will walk into some store, you will receive some advertisement to buy, but look at that, was it planned? If not, even it is coming at a 50% discount, let it go, because you are forming a habit. Okay? That's the step one tactic for expenditure management. Number two is form the muscle of delaying gratification. How do you do that? Is that non-essential item you want to buy, you have a plan to buy, you go into the shop, say you have already planned to buy a phone, again taking an example which is most popular, you go and you want to make the purchase now. Don't make the purchase. Stop. I'll not make it today, I'll do it after 2 days. And that just a step of delaying the gratification by 1 day, 2 days will form that muscle of controlling your temptations to buy, impulse buying. Third, in terms of investment, the discipline which you need is invest regularly. People usually what they would do is that they have the funds, small, whatever amount, lying somewhere, and it's just there. And somebody gives some tips, hey, let's invest in this, maybe invested one time. Some friend tells that, okay, this is a good place to invest. They invested one time and that's it. But again, you are forming a habit. So if you want to invest like what you are saving, even in a fixed deposit, invest every month. And that's the biggest thing which you can do to form the habit of investing.
Do you have any suggestions where to invest?
That's a very good one. Suggestion which you have is that in Tunaiku and Tunaiku Invest, you can get a very attractive interest rate, and that's a fixed deposit type of scheme where you have the security of the bank, you don't have to think much about, and you can just invest on a regular basis.
Okay, so that's all the 3 tips that you will give to us, right? Okay, but I heard that you said about Tunaiku. So maybe many of our viewers haven't know about Tunaiku because it's just launched August 26th. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about Tunaiku itself?
As of now, we receive a bank statement. We open a bank account, we have the statement over there. And it tells us what do we have and what we owe in simple terms. What Tunaiku does is that along with the bank statement, it combines artificial intelligence, AI on top of it. By that, a user can set their goals, and as we talked about, that meeting a financial goal is more about financial discipline and the right financial habits. So this AI helps the user to form that habit by sending them the notifications on real time instead of an analysis at the end of the month or end of a period. So you have a certain goal, if you are overspending, you would receive a notification that you are overspending today. Now you can take some action for tomorrow already to balance that.
Okay.
And that's the biggest difference of Senimku as compared to any other banking. Another is, it is of course very high tech in terms of the full mobile. So end-to-end digital, you don't have to go physically to anywhere. And in this current time, it is even suits even more that you just go online, open the bank account and start transacting and start saving.
Cool. Now, sir, to end this interview or this talk, can you give a little words or a little message for our students?
Okay. One message which I would like to give to every one of your viewers is learn about compound interest. Yeah. So as an example, suppose if I ask you, if you are putting 100,000 rupiah per month, every month for 1 year, yeah, that is total 1.2 million rupiah. Yeah. If you do that for 10 years, that's 12 million rupiah. And if you do that for 20 years, that's 24. And 30 years, 36 million rupiah, right? By compound interest. Suppose you are doing this as an example. Anywhere you can do it where you are getting an interest rate. But as an example, you put in Senimku, yeah, or Tunaiku Invest, same 100,000 every month. At the end of 30 years, that 36 million rupiah which you have put in, what will be your guess that amount would be? So one might think, yeah, that 36 maybe 40, 50, 60 million rupees, that could be there. And that's where the kicker of the compound interest comes in. That amount would be not 60, 70, but 200 million rupiah. That's the power of compounding interest. And that's my message for all the viewers. Work on compounding interest, and that's your biggest friend in financial goal achievement. So I would end with that, is how you look at compound interest is like that. As a user, as an individual, you work hard. Now make your money also work hard for you.
Ooh, that's nice. Work hard, money work hard for you too. Okay. So that's quite, it's like you all giving the message to me, sir. Okay, so that's our Bincang Tunaiku Amar Bank for today. Thank you, Mr. Vishal, for your time. Nah, itu dia Bincang Tunaiku Amar Bank kali ini, special edition bersama Presiden Director Amar Bank, Vishal Tulsian. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And semoga perbincangan tadi cukup menggetuk hati dan menggugah kita untuk semakin disiplin dalam mengatur keuangan dan dalam mengatur finansial kita juga ya. Ada financial security, dan banyak deh tadi tipsnya, semoga bisa diterapkan ke dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Jangan lupa untuk like, subscribe, dan komen di bawah kalau punya pertanyaan. Dan jangan lupa untuk bunyikan lonceng, gimana ya? Lonceng supaya kalau ada video-video terbaru dari Tunaiku, kamu yang pertama kali tahu video terbaru itu. Sampai jumpa di Bincang Tunaiku Amar Bank berikutnya. Hai. Say hi.